is. So good to see
This
you all.
meeting is
Oh, I
being
love you all
recorded.
for a walk, Samantha. How lovely is that? Look at the sunshine. Absolutely amazing. I've got you on two screens today so I can see the chat more clearly as well. I am so excited to kick back off with you all tomorrow, I was going to say then. Let me just hide the meeting so we don't have that black box at the bottom. Okay, so yay! I'm so excited to see you all today. I some familiar faces in here and some I haven't seen live before. So that is brilliant. And I know a couple of people said they're going to jump on kind of halfway through. Hi, Luciana. So good to see you again. I'm going to crack straight on with this because there is so much to do today. As usual, I have packed loads in. I do want to remind you all that there is a competition running, guys. Well, if my screen wants to move, there is a competition running. We do have the leaderboard so far. And if you haven't taken part in this already, then there is still loads of time. Somebody, when I last did this, went from like 5th place to 1st place. So there are great prizes. The leaderboard so far is we've got Samantha, and she's here live now, in 1st place. We've got Darby in 2nd place, and we've got Emma in 3rd. So I will remind you of the prizes and how you get your points at the end. But what I am also doing for you all today is we're going to up the ante. So one of the my authority framework is the 4 I's, and the 4th I is all about implementation, because that's when you get the most impact. Is kind of 4 and 5 I's. So because when you implement you get the best results, I am giving you a bonus competition today for an additional 50 points. So yesterday we worked on your authority edge and how you can pull that out, and your perspective, and owning what you do so that you have a point of difference. So today, I want you to get on your Instagram stories, and I want you, and there's so many different ways that you can do this. I want you to claim your edge. I want you to talk about your offer, or why you, or how you do things different. The dog is making a noise, I'm sorry. As like a coach or a service provider, whatever niche you're in, and like the work you do, why you're so passionate about it, what is your mission? Like there are so many ways that you can do it. I want you to get on your Instagram stories and do that today, because first of all, you will feel so much better for it, and you will have put out in the world, even if it's not perfect right now, and there's still more, there's still like deeper that you can go with this. You will tag me in it, and you will bag an additional 50 points. Okay. And remember, as I'm going through the slides today, and those of you that are going to be watching the replay, take a picture of one of your favorite slides and then share that to your stories too, because you will get more points and we can go into full authority competition mode. Okay. So are we ready? We've got like a bit of, don't even know who this is. This is supposed to be some music. Looks a bit like Kool in the Gang going, because I am ready. Okay, so the party playlist. Party one yesterday was all about recognition, and that is so needed. So those of you catching the replay, if you didn't watch yesterday's yet, you need to watch party one before you dig into this replay. So you guys, I know some of you were here live yesterday, but this is all about building on what we worked on yesterday, because desire is all about turning what you offer into the reason people ask to get into your offers. But to be able to do that, we need to position your offer around that clear, ownable edge that is yours and why you do things differently, which is what we started diving into and workshopping yesterday. Okay. Because when you don't just put out an offer and it's got something unique to you, the way you do things, and we're going to go into all of this today, funnily enough, when you have all of those elements to your offer, it can't be compared anymore. It stands out. It's like people are then like, okay, seen other offers which were a bit similar to this, but this is different because she talks about XYZ, or I know her thinking is going to like lead me in a different direction. That is what today is all about. So we are going to create some great offers while we're here. Not fully, because it takes more than like 45 minutes, but we're going to really dive into the beginning parts. So, like I said, yesterday was about recognition and authority, but this next shift, the work on desire, is how you create a different question for your ideal clients, because your name is triggering the recognition. You've got a clear lane. What they're then thinking about is, how do I get inside? Okay, so it's like you're giving them the keys. And you can see very subtly, these things don't have to be obvious, but I launched the House of Authority at the beginning of the year. I talk about authority. It is a massive part of my edge and my passion and my belief and my mission, which is what I talked about yesterday. There are keys that you collect for the competition, like keys for the front door. Very subtly, all these elements that make me recognizable as part of my brand are very subtly all building together. Okay. So, and I wanted to like point that out as well, because it's not just a one and done. It's very much, how can we weave all of these things together? So it's not just you're recognized for XYZ, that is literally thread through everything that you do, because it's the core of you. So recognition, who you are, your authority, that answers their question, like, who's she? Okay, so they shouldn't have the thought of who's she, because you've built your recognition, your authority, you've got your lane. Okay, when it comes to desire, desire answers the question, how do I get access? Not what is this, because that should be really obvious, but it's, how do I get inside this room? How do I get access to Paula? What are the different ways that I can get access to her? Because I'm so on board with her thinking and her perspective and her results and whatever it might be. That's what desire answers. That's the question desire answers. Okay. And you do need both. You also need the third one, which we're coming to tomorrow, because having that recognition without the desire is creating you attention. Okay, you're visible. But recognition with desire, that creates buyers. So that is why, like, being recognized, having a brand, all of those things, that's more influencer territory, or somebody who's inspirational and motivational, and they don't get paying clients, and they're not desired or in demand in that way. So we need the recognition with the desire that your unique, creative, innovative offers bring. Okay. And I have seen so many people get stuck here and stay stuck here for a very long time, because people know them. Like, they've done the work on visibility. They might have done work on branding. They might have had a brand shoot. They might have worked with somebody who actually is like, okay, this is what you're all about. This is your message. So people start liking them, they start respecting them, and then people consume like everything they put out. And this was me in the first year of my business. I was getting paying clients, but the first 6 months was a lot of this to start with, because I built the recognition, but I hadn't built the other layers. I'm going under on top of that. Okay. So if they're doing all of those aspects, like knowing you, in reaching out in terms of love this, like this is really brilliant, but they're not leaning in to ask to join your offers. So the question, and I want you to answer this, and I want you to put it in the chat. Why do you think, your perspective, why do you think some offers feel interesting and different, while others feel really unmissable? Like, why have you got on some place, oh, there's that offer, that sounds all right. But then on the other side, you've got, oh my God, that sounds unmissable. I need to find a way to be in that room. I need to find a way to make this possible financially. I need to find the time, because currently that doesn't allow it. What do you think is the difference between those two type of offers? And I just chuck it in the chat, however, like the words come out, just while I very quickly open this door for this dog. 1 second. There you go. Go on then. Always something. Right. I'm in my makeshift office in Wales. Okay, Katie, you have said, oh, energy conviction, Darby. It's normally because I respect the person, so I want anything they do. Oh, okay. So that's an interesting question, Kate, an observation, Katie, as well. It's like, what about them are you respecting? And that's going to come into how we build this offer. Because it's respect is different to just liking the person as well. And Darby, I like what you've said about energy, the energy and conviction behind it. You're completely right. There are other things that go into it, but energy and conviction you can't fake, because when people then do come in the room with you, it's like, I touched on this yesterday, like, that's not quite the person that I thought was online. Like the energy and conviction comes from the authority edge work. So you completely spot on there. And Luciana, it's the, oh, somebody's just waiting to come in. It's the achievable outcome. If the outcome looks achievable without faking it. And again, you've got it spot on there. It's like that outcome needs to feel like something you can achieve, which is your job to do in your marketing. It is, let me hide this again. Why does this keep coming out? It is, it's all about making what you're offering desirable and like, oh, this is speaking to me and where I currently am in my journey. Okay. So then the question is, we need to be able to do that in our offers. So we're going to dial into your offer. Okay. So we're going to do a real baseline workshop window to start with. So I want you to think about the main offer that you currently have. Okay. And if you're in a position where like you haven't got a main offer right now, although I'm 99% sure everybody who's signed up for this does, I want you to think about what you would want it to be, or maybe what's not your main offer and it's one of like your sub offers, for example. So think about your main offer. Obviously, like what's it called? I want you to go into the detail, like the features for a minute. Like how long does it run for? What's the format? Is it one-to-one? Is it group? And how do you deliver it? Like, is it weekly calls? Is there modules? Is there something that they can like what do you call it? Like a do-it-yourself kind of portal they go to, plus calls. Like, what does it look like? That's the first thing I want you to do because this is our baseline. Okay. That shouldn't take too long because you're gonna have it in the forefront of your mind. So I'll just give you a second. Well, I'll give you a little bit longer than a second. Will I just get my slides up? Songs in my head. Darby, you don't have to answer these in the chat. These are very much for you. There will be certain things I'll say, like, oh, can you pop this in the chat if you want to give me, like, if you would like my response or something, or we'll open it for like a discussion. But this is just your baseline. Okay. Right. Okay. So even if you haven't got everything written down on like in your notebook right now, you have an idea of what your offer looks like, how it's delivered, how many sessions, how many weeks, like the modules, XYZ. Okay. Now, this is usually where the industry bot appears. Okay. And that is why so many offers either struggle to sell at all or struggle to fill them. And why lots of people are in a position where they have a group offer, but maybe there's like 6 people that you would love in it and you've got 3 and you can never really get over that threshold, or you've got 5 spaces open for one-to-one, but you only ever have like 1 or 2 or 3 at any point. So the industry box is usually the reason why this happens, because most offers like fit into a category. Okay, a group program, a mastermind, a one-to-one, a membership, some kind of passive like done for you course. Like they all have different branding, but they've got a very, very similar structure. So if you think about the group program, like you could have a group program that is 6 weeks, a group program that is 8 weeks. Like in theory, they look different, but actually they've got the same structure to them. So you could have like your 6 week program, your 12-week program, your 3 month container, your 6 month container, weekly calls, Slack group, Telegram, modules, bonuses. Like I tried to list off literally everything I could think of. And you might be thinking, oh, what I've just done in workshop 1 completely fits into those. Now, there's nothing wrong with these things, but they have seen them 10,000 times before. Okay. And that is the key, because when something is expected, that's when it blends in. That's when it's a bit boring. It's a bit, they might question it if it's a bit unoriginal. Like you get a lack of signups, or definitely not like being fully booked. Now, this is not to say you have to go out there and completely reinvent the whole entire industry and create something that doesn't exist. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But inside the industry box, everything feels the same. Okay. You're like not only blending in, you're then having to compete with everyone else, not just in your niche who, they do the same thing as you. You're already competing with them with your messaging and standing out. And that's why we did the work on recognition yesterday. Then if you've got an offer that also is cardboard box copy of what they're doing as well, you can see the issue, can't you? You can see how everything just blends together, because when things feel samey, when they feel familiar, they very rarely feel irresistible, regardless of how much, going back to some of the things you said in the chat, regardless of like how much you trust and respect that person, regardless of how much energy and conviction you have behind it, if it's completely the same except for the person, you're putting a lot on the person and the edge. So we need to blend them all together. So when the rest of the industry is going left, I want you to be thinking about going right. Have I done those directions in the right way? I have. Because authorities, and you are all authorities in the making, don't build offers inside of boxes. And we definitely don't build like standard offers. Authorities design like signature experiences and spaces that feel and are unmistakably theirs. Okay. It's like they create a home, like the House of Authority. And you can see how, like, I'm literally like, what's the phrase for this? It's like the proof is in the pudding. Okay. It's when you create something that's different, and this comes back, this is where your edge comes into it as well. When you create something that's different, when you create something that has your authority edge all over it, your offer should feel like a space they want to be inside of. It should feel like home to them, because it fits them. It's not just, they're not just desiring it because it's you leading it. They're desiring it because they know this feels like home. This is exactly where I need to be. Okay. Because there's several elements that go into that, but desire increases with the audience. And you'll know this from yourselves. Desire increases when people like really understand not just this is the offer, here are the features, but like why the offer exists. What's the purpose behind it? Why was it created? Why is it designed that way? Why was the choice to have 10 weeks of a 10-week program over a 12-week program? Like what's the design there? What's the creation there? Like what's the thought process there? So desire, but also the trust in you, the conviction they have in you, all of that builds when you've got the backbone of the offer has clearly been thought out. Because when you have got like a really when you have got a really well thought out structure, that like reveals the thinking behind something, like the why this exists, the why this is designed. And then that level of thinking reveals the authority. And that starts to create the desire that you want your audience to be in. Because thinking is going to be a big theme that we're going in today. And fun enough, you will hopefully realize that this is a lot of what we were talking about yesterday now applied to offers, because it's how you think, what your take is, what your perspective of what works, what doesn't work, why you're doing it this way, why you created it this way. That is what makes an authority. That's what has you standing out. So we need to be able to do that in our offers as well. So just an example, we've got him on there. Those of you that watched yesterday, if you didn't know his name, let's see if you know his name. Some of the brands that stand out instantly are somebody like Alex Hormozy, okay? He's, again, I said this yesterday, he's known for value stacking, insane like guarantees, money models. Like his work, when he comes out with a new book, I always buy it. Like instantly. I almost don't even do much research now because his recognition is so top tier and he has so created a category of his own. When it comes to the offers, which are like his books and things that he puts out, you know they are going to give you a different level of insight. Like he's created that level of thinking. So he's naturally created that desire, not just for an offer, but for every single thing he creates. Tony Robbins, like his offers, if you like, are very differently. He stands out because it's event-led transformation, like on huge scale. Okay, I couldn't find a picture which literally had every person's face in the background, but he delivers his offers, his transformation, like to the masses. And there's a very clear reason he does that. And he also does it, and he literally gets like tens of thousands of people. Now, I would absolutely hate that. It does not fit in with me and how I work and what I bring to the table at all. But for him, that offer creates so much desire and stands out. And he has some, I know a couple of people who've done them. They literally go on for days and they go through the nights as well. Like there is a very distinct piece of innovation work that goes on there. And then, like, not a person, but you've got other brands like Peloton. So when Peloton come out, it was forward thinking. It was like you are like real life. To start with, it was riding your bike out in the woods, wasn't it, or wherever you were, or you are in the gym class without leaving your home. And now they've got all devices that do that, not just bikes. So the common thread between all of these and what I want you to think about when it comes to your offers is that none of them copied like the norm. None of them did what everyone else was doing. Each one is recognizable, not just because of their branding and their face, but because of that intentional thought and design and innovation that they put into their offer. And they design something not just that people would want to be a part of, but that they'd want to be able to join themselves. And I think that is so like question I always say to clients is, would you want to be a part of this? And why? Like when they're creating their offer, would you want to join that? Because if the answer is, oh, I'm not sure, then why would anyone else? They innovated, they got creative. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat for a second, see if there's anything in there, and also like get a breath. No, that's good. Okay, so every single decision that goes into creating like a highly desirable offer, like has a clear reason behind it. Okay, so why the structure works. I hate the word structure because it sounds like it's a template, but it's not. So why you designed it like that way, why the structure of, let's just take something really simple so I can explain it. Why the structure of your one-to-one is week one, we do this, week two, we move on to this, week three, we is like an integration week. Why is week three an introduction week, integration week? Like, what do you know? What's your thinking behind that? Like, so all those little details, those are what make offers highly desirable, is the thinking behind it. But it's also like why the experience, and you'll notice I'm calling your offers an experience because that's exactly what they should be. So why the experience that you're offering from the very moment they begin, including like when they click to pay, all the way to they end, and even weeks after they end, why does all of that experience happen in that exact way? Why have you designed it in that way? And why that offer, that experience, that space creates transformation in the best possible way, like better than anyone else. Because you need to claim that and believe it. That's where the conviction comes from. And that would be linked to your authority edge. Like, why does that create transformation? So, your level of thinking becomes a huge part of the attraction for premium buyers. And when I talk about premium buyers, I am specifically talking about the buyers who not are willing to spend more money. That's not what I mean when I say premium. I'm talking about the ones who are ready. They know the problem they've got. You're not convincing them at all. They are out there looking for the solution. Okay. Your thinking is a huge part of what attracts them to you and your offer. So this level of innovative thinking and like the design and creation is the difference between like, oh, I like that person. Sorry, I've got a phone call coming through. I like that person. I can see how they do things. Like maybe I could join their space one day. And like, how do I join this space right now? Like, I want to be inside of this second. That's what makes the difference. It's the level of thought and design and intention that goes into it. Oh, there's no picture. And she's on the call though, so that's good. Meet Katie, who is not a fake person. She is actually a real person. This is just an example of just doing things differently. It doesn't have to be as radical as you think. Okay. And Katie can nod along or shake her head to this. But Katie took like an existing space that she had that was completely free. Katie's in my authority mastermind. With a different focus, more authority, and had that desirability of why like women should join this space. And 7 women joined, paid to join that straight away when it was free before. Okay, so just putting that level of extra thought and design into something can make a huge difference. She also like created a bespoke group, never done a group before. And the way that she did it and for the purpose that she did it, like didn't really exist before, or we weren't aware that it existed anyway. And she sold spaces into that, into her first group. So when I'm talking about like innovative thinking and doing things slightly different, it doesn't have to be something radical and you literally are creating a whole new box. It's the thought that goes into it. It's the why you're doing it this way. It's positioning it with the authority that it deserves to have. Okay? Because innovation shows up in so many different ways. It shows up in how you deliver something. It shows up in why you designed it that way, what the structure is, the amount of access they get to you, or the type of access they get to you, and again, why that is there. And also the transformation. But the problem here is so many people think that transformation is what creates a desirable offer. And yes, that is the biggest thing. Because if it doesn't give them the transformation that they want, they're not going to desire it in the slightest, are they? But it's not just that. And that is why so many offers, like, not fall flat because you might sell them, but actually don't push past the ceilings that you're currently at. It's these other elements, how you deliver it, the structure, how what the access to you is like, what your thinking looks like. It is those things that make the difference, as opposed to sticking to like the industry box model. Okay. Designing, it's not about designing something that fits the model you already know. It's designing something that fits you, your authority, your thinking, the clients you want to bring into your world, clients you will love to work with, and also they will get so much out of it, and it will just become friggin' amazing, because that's what we're here to do. So I'll have a little sip. Some examples of this, because I know from being on these trainings, it's all well and good people telling you this, but actually seeing what that looks like is the most helpful. This is teacher mode as well, because how many times when we were in like reception, usually you have show and tell. Okay, because showing is so much more powerful than telling. And that is something which I will always say to my clients when it comes to like their content. Show more, don't just say words and talk and tell, show it. So one thing that I kept seeing, this was like about 18 months ago now, one thing that I kept seeing with clients was there were certain elements that you kind of have to create, although you don't have to, when it comes to your business, like sales pages, but for different types of offers, like what goes into like a super high ticket sales page and what goes into just like a landing page where they're signing up to something, launch sequence emails, all of those types of things were like a huge headache that took hours and hours and maybe even days for my clients to like write and create, and then they might not still convert. So I created the Authority Mastermind directory for them. And they are templates. And you're probably thinking, Paula, I thought you said you didn't do templates. I give examples of what works, what doesn't work. And I always say, and Katie can nod along to this, I always say you have to make it your own. These are examples. These are what I've done. These are my sales pages. So you've got something to start with. There are so many people, and again, I've been in these spaces that wouldn't give all of that. They would just go into Chat GPT and be like, here's a standard template for your sales page. There you go. So just that alone takes my offer, gives it like another layer of, oh, this is different. I really want that because I hate doing these things by myself. Or clients came to me with like questions about which content should I work on when, and my answer to that 9 times out of 10 is it's not about which content, it's about what you're saying. So I will deliver and record like off the cuff trainings. So this was the attract, nurture, convert framework, because one of my clients was a little bit confused about what to do when. So those types of things are all innovative and doing something different that not everyone does. And I talk about the fact that I do these things. That's part of my edge. It's very personalized. Clients want to know their work is optimized before they post it, they launch it, they send it if it's like an email or something. So I make sure that work reviews are a part of every single week with every single client, no matter what offer they're in. Okay. It's those types of details that go into, these are not just features. These are features that are there for a very specific reason. And I know they make a difference. And that is the key to your level of thinking, which is why, like, at the same time, like, I know 99% of like masterminds, I've been in a couple, lack the depth, those like touch points with the person, the energy, the like excitement. So I brought in more in-person touch points. So we have like a summer social. We've now got in the mastermind, that's noisy and distracting me. You can see there the craziness going on there. We have like one-to-one sessions included. We have one-to-one VIP days if it's part of the offer. There's challenges to create that momentum. Like all of these things have been very, very intentionally added because that is what I see as a gap and actually what really helps people thrive. So it doesn't have to be just extra features that you add. Okay. It's what only you can bring to the table. And this is why the work on your authority edge is so, so important. So just examples like, what's the quality of proximity to you in your offer, in your main offer? So like and I make this claim all of the time because I'm so convicted of it. I know in my high ticket spaces, like I give the best level proximity like I've ever seen. And that goes back to part of my authority edge. I mentioned it to you yesterday and my core value of educational excellence. That shapes how I deliver. So it's part of like what you bring to the table, not just the features. It's the fact, and this is the like teacher brain in me, but like when I see a gap, I can't cope with that gap being there. I want to plug it for women that I work with. So like we've got the mastermind directory, new trainings like created in real time, not like instantly that day, like let's be real, but within a week or so. Behind the scenes, like insights, our voice notes clients from the bath when I've just had an idea. They might not know I'm in the bath, but like it's that level of you thinking and being ahead of the game with your clients, whatever your niche is. You staying ahead of that curve with your forward thinking. Okay. It's all of these types of things that are going to have you like setting yourself apart. And that is why, like, your offers aren't just products that people can buy from you. They are literally rooms in your house. Now, you know, I love a bit of cheese, but this literally is why the house was created, the house of authority. Because if you think about a house, if you think about coming home to your home, it is a place you want to be. That is what you want your offers to give your clients. It's like, where is this place that I want to be? Each of your offers are a different room in that house. So, like, what are you bringing to the table? Why do they feel like home at different ways and at different levels for your clients? Because how you design those rooms and very importantly, what the purpose behind those rooms are, that shapes, number one, how people enter. If they enter at all, that's the desirability. Like how they move through the rooms. Do they just come in, stay in one room and then leave and you never see them again? Or have you got like an ecosystem where they move through your rooms? It's how they experience your brand. And when I say your brand is you and your mission and your purpose. Like that's the point of your offers. And that's how you create that desire. And the key part is whether they stay, whether they leave that room after like the offer is finished, or whether they move through. And I am so proud of the fact that for like over 12 months, I can't remember the exact number, but over 12 months, I have a 100% retention rate that every single client has re-signed at least once in the last 12 months. Like that is because there is desirability there. And it's not just the desirability where like you're selling something and making this massive claim of like, I can get you 100K month. If you join now, I'll get it for you in like 6 weeks. It's because that's not going to get you a retention rate if you then can't deliver on that. It's the service you give, what you bring to the table when they are inside your house, your home. Okay. I've done so much talking. I'm so glad we're at a workshop window. So if you've got any questions about what I just said, pop them in the chat. What I want you to do now, and this is going to be, I have like put so much into this. There's a couple of slides for this workshop window. So I want you to look at your core offer again. Okay. what actually makes that core offer really powerful for your clients? What transformation does it create? I mean, you should know that off the back of your hand anyway. And what part of the experience currently makes people want to stay or join another one or talk about it to their friends, come back into something else, or like literally never ever leave? Like, I want you to answer those questions first of all. I'm going to bring up the chat. Literally, any questions you have about any of this, pop them in because I really want us to be workshopping this. And I'm going to keep the chat open for a second while you're doing that and have some water. Well, it might be, I just can't stop not talk. It might be that you you're like, oh, I don't actually know. That's not a bad place to be because you can create it and you can fill that gap. But on the other side of the scale, you might be like, oh yeah, I've completely got this. My offer is like so desirable. Brilliant. So whichever like side you're on right now, that's not a bad place to be because that's why you're here. You might not have answered all of those in the depth that you want to be able to answer them yet, but I've got lots for you to think about. So I want you to go deeper now, okay? And still sticking with your one-to-one offer, not your one-to-one offer, your main core offer right now. Like, what part of that offer feels really different, feels distinctive, do you think is quite innovative and unique to you, as in somebody else who does the same, exactly the same, like off before and after offer transformation as you, they couldn't pick up your offer and sell it because there are things in it that are you. So what are there any parts? And if so, what are they? And then on the flip side, Are there any parts of your main offer that feel like it could belong to absolutely anyone else doing the same thing as you? And there will be some things, of course, like, oh, this is a 12-week offer. And I know most people have a 12-week offer. You don't have to change everything. Because these are going to give you a really good insight into maybe where you can reevaluate this and like add to it or add more desire. Okay. And then these are not even the biggest questions. The biggie is we're talking about the main room in your house. Like some people class their kitchen as like the room they spend the most time in, or your lounge or your bedroom, whatever it is. This is the main room in your house. How proud are you to like show it off, to welcome people in? Now, that does not mean like how ready are you to bring people in because we're all ready. Okay. No matter what stage you're at, everyone is ready. But how proud are you currently to show this off? Like, yes, this is the main offer in my house and I cannot wait to show you around because I put this there because of this reason and I painted this wall this color because of XYZ and we do things differently in here because like how proud are you to show it off? And then if you were to redesign all or even part of that offer, what might you do differently and why? This is the big question. Now, this is the part where you're going to get the most creative and the most innovative because I really don't want you to think about what already exists. I kind of want you to think like if time, if money, if placement around the world, if nothing was in the way, what would I do? And how would I do it? Because if you start with like the big idea of like, I would do this because I know this is bloody amazing and this would work and they would get the transformation they want to get, but I also want to get them. Like, if you come up with the big idea, it's then much easier to like pull that down into what's actually achievable in terms of like, oh, what can I do? And starting so small and then building up, go big, get innovative, go 10 times. Think money's not an option. Like, everyone is willing to pay like £10,000 to be part of this offer. Like, what would it look like? That's the big idea thinking I want, because that is what is going to create desire. And you can still do all of those things and make them manageable for how you are able to deliver this, but think big. Okay. And an example I just want to give you is, this is Nick. She's in the mastermind. She's actually been in the mastermind now about 18 months because people never want to leave. But with Nick, in her first 7 weeks, like we really got so clear on her edge because she didn't have a clue what it was to start with. We got really innovative and different with our offers. And in those first 7 weeks, she signed clients. Okay, after only having like drip feed clients before. She's in her time, she's got like one-to-one clients. We started, innovative, created, sold like a one-of-a-kind group. She's got a thriving membership, even though so many people out there will tell you memberships are dead. They're not. She's sold out multiple in-person events, and literally she has embodied every single element of being an authority. And she has just sold 90% of her luxury retreat spaces. She's got one. And she was, if I tell you, what month are we in now? March. 2 and a bit months ago, she wasn't going to put on that retreat. She was terrified. She was pulling back. Katie's nodding because she knows. I stretched her. We got the ideas out there, and she sold 90% of spaces. And what we've also done, and this is the reason I've put her in here, is because a month or so ago, we really redesigned her one-to-one. So there's a lot of typos in there. So it wasn't just a standard one-to-one of it's this many offer, this many weeks, and this is what we work through. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but now, like, part of her authority is in person. Part of her authority is creating experiences. So she has added in elements of this in such a different, unique way now to her one-to-one that it's literally unlike anything else on the market. And she hasn't launched it yet. But so I can't like say, yes, all the desire was created and I would never lie to you. But it is genuinely so unbelievably exciting. And when you've got that authority edge, when you think outside the box, you are able to do these things. And Nick is like a living example of that, because she didn't have an edge. She won't even mind me saying this. She didn't have an edge. She didn't speak up. She wasn't very confident. And actually, yesterday in the mastermind group, this shows her authority. I should have screenshot it. She said that she did an event last week, and she has, the person who she ran the event was at the event, has gone and recommended her to somebody else who literally is like, I can't remember if she said owns the company, but like, I can't even remember the name of the company either. It was something huge, like a travel company or something like we've all heard of. Love Holidays, something like that. And now her name has been put forward to go and run an event for them. Like, that is the power of this work without sounding cheesy in the slightest. Like, that's the proof behind it. Okay. And I wish I could bottle up what she was like when she started and show it to you now, because it is literally like a completely, not a different person, but fully activated. Okay. So that is what this work does. So the questions I kind of really want you to then take further now with this piece of work as part of your homework today is like, where are you still doing things the normal way, the industry box way? And if you could guarantee, like I just said, that you would be sold out, money wasn't an option, like there was no fear, like you literally removed any possible block, what would you do differently and why would you do it differently in that way? Because that's like the purpose that you have behind it. Okay. You can take a screenshot of those because that's going to be part of your like bigger work. Because the moment that you like step outside of this box that you've like even unknowingly put yourself in, because that's what happens when you join this like online world and you're a service provider. Like the moment you step outside of that industry box and do things your way, new possibilities appear. And that is not just by manifesting it, it is from the work that you put in. Because that desire is there, and you will have created something that is going to be sold out or multiple people in your spaces. But imagining that is the easy part, okay? Designing something that stands out, is desired, is aligned with your authority, it converts consistently. That requires this level of thinking that we're doing today. Because when all of these like align together, that is when desire appears. So that is the piece of work. This piece of work is so important. And I genuinely believe like it is not spoken about or taught, or people reserve it for like private. It's not me. Like that is what makes the difference. Because we've got your piece of recognition and your authority work that we did yesterday. That's going to create attention. That's going to bring people to your world. That's going to get people liking, trusting, respecting you, and like, oh, this is really interesting. I love this girl. Then how you innovate and design your offers is going to create that desire. The third piece is what we're going to be doing tomorrow, which is turning that into demand. So it's all well and good knowing all these things and having them sat there. But how do we actually like generate that demand? Because what you will have realized over the last, well, yesterday and today is it's not always, or no, I'm not going to say it's never, it's not always about more strategies, more content, and more offers. Okay, it hardly ever is about any of those. Otherwise, you could throw money at this, at like scaling your business, which some people do, and you'd be there. Like you'd have your goals, you'd have your 100K, 500K, whatever K month, years that you want. Okay. It's all about bringing these right foundations together, and they all revolve around you. Like literally, you are that eye of the storm, and all the foundations work around you. Do you see? There is literally science and thinking and mission and everything behind everything I use. Like I use the storm for that reason. The emoji. I use the house because when you work with me, it's like a home. Like everything has a really clear purpose. Okay. And I do want to take this opportunity. I'm just going to take up like 5 more minutes of your time to talk to you a little bit about the Authority Mastermind, because that is my like main home. No, it's my main room in my house. I absolutely adore this space. And you might be in a place where you've like tried it all, but you haven't necessarily tried this, because there is so much that is possible for you in this space. And that in itself is like such a great opportunity to have ahead of you. Okay. And I don't want you to be still growing your business inside of a box. I want you to be growing it in your authority. And that is why the Authority Mastermind exists. Like really simple, because creating demand, creating desire, becoming an authority is not something you do with one strategy or one post, or even one post every single day. Like it is something that you build into the entire structure of your business. If we're going back to the house analogy, it is the foundation of what grows on your business, in your business, I should say. It is literally the entire structure so that you scale. So like at this point, you can either, and this is absolutely fine, because this is the reason I give so much value, like you can action everything you've learned and tomorrow. and you can implement and start testing all of this by yourself, or you can hire me as your not so silent, believe me, really not so silent strategic partner in your business. And you can have those goals. You can be working towards those goals in like a quick, when I say quick, I'm not saying easy, like there's a quick win all the time, but like quicker than doing it yourself. You can have fun. You can be the most you that you've been. You actually will be the most you that you've been. So there are two different options there. And the authority mastermind is that entire transformation. We don't just look at one thing. It's not just another mastermind. You're not face like on a wall of like 20 people. You come in as the woman who's like good at what she does, because you are all great at what you do. And you really leave, if you ever leave, as the one who's like known for it. It's about establishing that household name. You have more clients, you have offers which speak for you, you make more sales. Like that is the goal. And I am going to be completely honest with you. It is not a quick win, come in, that happens in a month. It's different for every single person. But genuinely, I wholeheartedly believe, and I'm sure like Katie can reiterate this, that like this, you will master your content, you will master your sales, you will master why you're an authority, you will have that understanding of strategy and how to scale. You may have to make some changes along the way, but you will get that in the authority mastermind. And we do that, I'm not going to read all of these, but we do that in the 4I storm, the 4I framework. So we go into your identity. And I just want to caveat this. We don't do these 4Is in order, like, oh, we spend 2 weeks on this and that. They are embodied in everything that we do. Every single thing that we do, we work on your identity. We pull out that authority angle so that you are standing out. We work, actually, those are in the wrong order. We innovate. We look at your offers and we look at scalable offers so that you're not just like replacing your time with like 50 million calls. You're creating groups, you're creating spaces, you're creating events, whatever those things might look like. We do them your way, we get innovative. And then we look, this is what we spend the most of our time on. We look at how you have influence. So that's your content, that's your magnetism, that's how you create demand, that's how you create sales, how you launch, if you want to launch. Like there's no one size fits all. And then the 4I is implementation and impact. It's actually 2 Is, because it's where you have the hands-on mentorship from me, where actually we put all of this into play. We are doing this week by week by week inside the mastermind. So if you want weekly, monthly, whatever it might look like for you, whatever different, 4-5 figure payouts, where you're aiming for, you need a strategy that works for you. And I do just want to share one more example. Like Lisa, when she started with me, she was making between, well, roughly about £2,000 a month. She had clients, okay? So she wasn't starting from scratch. And in her first 4 weeks of like going through these 4Is, really starting with what is her authority edge and allowing that to lead, and then putting that straight into her content, like we wasted no time at all. She literally in her first 4 weeks made £12,000. It was a 14 times return on her investment. She added like 35K to her end of year revenue. And we pulled out her authority edge in such a way, like I'm so proud that she's now nominated for 2 industry awards in a very male dominated industry she's in. She's not a coach. She actually, I'll tell you what she does. Well, there's 2 things. She's an app developer. So she's developed an app for it sounds so boring, for people in planning. Okay. So, and also she has a second business that we work with on, and this is where this income has come from, where she helps people and supports them, and a very done for you service in planning applications. So this isn't just something that like works for coaches or virtual assistants, or agency owners. These things work across all service industries, and she's flying. So, no, that's the wrong slide. I talk about the authority mastermind in terms of like it being home. And it is home for me. Like I love it every single Tuesday when we jump on our calls. Like you'll feel like you've never quite fit into the rooms where like everyone is doing the exact same things. Everyone's following the same strategy. They're all launching, like live launching in the same way. They're all like saying you get high touch support, but you don't really necessarily. You weren't meant to be in those rooms. Like the authority mastermind was created for the woman who knows she's capable of so much more, but she's done shrinking herself. But I don't mean being quieter necessarily. I mean trying to be something you're not. Okay. Because you don't have to quieten yourself down, but at the same time, you don't have to be louder either. It is about being you and activating that authority edge to do things your way and do them different. And you are seen for who you are. You're challenged to lead at a higher level, but you're also supported like while you grow. Because homes aren't places where you hide. They're spaces where you are seen and you are held to the highest standard of who you're becoming. And there are women that have been in there 12 months, 18 months, even 22 months and still haven't left. That's the kind of home space that I create. So we have weekly meetings on a Tuesday. These are implementation and strategy meetings. We have weekly in-depth marketing and work reviews. It can be your content, your funnels, your messaging, your sales pages, literally anything that you are working on, your slides. You get 3 private one-to-one calls with me over the 6 months, and you get full access to that authority directory, which is like all my proven, tested, optimized templates, library of trainings. Anything I create like will gets added into there. It's a constant like working space. You also get the in-person mastermind day in London. Now, if you are across the other side of the world, then you can zoom in, and there are this gets replaced with like another option as well. But there is so much that goes into this space. There's also bonuses on at the moment where if you join in the net before the end of March 31st, you get an onboarding call and full authority audit with me. So that is before you even kick off. So you've got a plan. We know where any gaps and blind spots are, and you jump straight in. You also, as a bonus, get a one-to-one VIP day with me. And these can be, I have actually done these on Zoom for people who are on the other side of the world as well. So you get your one-to-one VIP day with me, which is like the most gorgeous day. We have a lot of fun, but we also do a lot of work. Lots of different 3 different locations. I've mainly done them in London so far, but these are so powerful because this is why I've added in person into, like, we have our in-person mastermind days, but my VIP days are something I absolutely love to do. And you also get like a plug and play, like the Magnetize and Monetize 30-day sprint, so that you can do the work behind the scenes, pick and choosing what you want to do, magnetizing your brand and monetizing your genius. Okay, so that is like a fully built out 30-day sprint. And your investment, so the usual price is £5,000. But right now, until the end of March, you can join for saving £500. And there's a 6-month payment plan, but I've also put it in an extended 9-month payment plan because something I genuinely believe is that I don't want money to be a reason for women in business going after what they want and being able to make it happen. So there'll be a lot of people out there who say, don't extend a payment plan. I've never listened to that. And again, there's a reason behind these things. So I forgot about this one. And only for you guys who came to the house party, if you do sign up or inquire to sign up in the next 48 hours and we book an explore call in that time and you go on to sign up, you will get an extra one-to-one call with me added on. So that's 4 one-to-ones plus the onboarding call, plus the VIP day. Like, you are going to have the most amazing experience, and you get that exclusive access to join us early. There's some amazing women in there at the moment. One of them has just told me she's re-signing again, which is amazing. But you can scan this, you can book your explore call with me for any time in the next couple of weeks. Even if you book it in for next week, if I see it booked in the next 48 hours, you claim that bonus. And if you've got any questions, though, I would love, we can have a DM conversation in Instagram. But I just absolutely love this space. I love this space. I cannot tell you enough. And if this is something that you are looking to develop and build in your business, then you have got no reason not to book a call, because I don't sell at you in the slightest. Okay, so your homework for today is, I want you to design your own house. And I don't mean draw a picture, although you can do that if you want to. Okay, I want you to think about, okay, if I were redesigning what my ecosystem currently looks like, okay, you can start with the main offer and all the questions I've taken you through there. But what rooms would exist in your house? Like, what would each room be known for? Like, what's its purpose? Why are they different from each other? What are the experiences or the transformations that happen in those different rooms? The offers, obviously. Which rooms, hopefully all of them, would make someone think, I need to be a part of that? And actually, which rooms, offers do you have now that might disappear entirely if you were going to build it from scratch, and why? This is your like thinking big piece of work. You can do this written up, you can get creative, and you can draw a picture or go into Canva and do it as almost like a vision board of a house and what you would put in there with some text of the names. The more creative and innovative, I'll just love it. And then I will feed back and I will come back with like questions for you to go deeper of like how you could take this further. Because I can't tell you how much I want all of you to succeed in this. So your homework for today, get extra points for it. Remember the other things I said at the beginning, because every single time you share something and you tag on Instagram, you get 20 points. Doing your homework and putting it in Telegram, you get another 15 points. And those of you that are live here today, you get 10 points. And if you do the extra challenge at the beginning, which is go on and claim your authority edge on your stories at some point today, you get an extra 50 points. And they all lead to the prizes that I shared with you yesterday. Okay, so I've absolutely loved that session. I have no throat left. I have no throat left. I have no voice left. I have no mind left, obviously, as well. But that was brilliant. I hope, please, if you've got any questions, pop in the chat, in the Telegram chat. And I'm just going to stop that. And I will speak to you all in Telegram later. I'm looking forward to seeing your homework, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, my lovelies. Bye.